Well, hello and welcome back. We are going to start a new, getting into a new project this time around. We're going to do some Spring Boot. And this is, if you haven't used it, it's Java based. And it is a way to, much like Node and some of those other things, that you have essentially a self contained web server. You're able to build an application and go from there. We'll explore it a little deeper as we go. Right now, I am going to use all examples are in Spring's STS. It is an Eclipse-based solution. I'm basically running it's version 4.20. There's if you want to, you can always look out at Spring Tools. You can get it for either Eclipse, as I've done, or they've got you can get some of that stuff in Visual Studio Code. It's not quite the same. And then Thea, which I have not used at all. But generally speaking, depends on what your IDE is. You can go from there. You should be able to mostly get through this, although things will be obviously a little different depending on your IDE, particularly because I'm using this because any of the Spring stuff that I've used in the past, it has been very helpful for me to use what's called, it was called Spring STS, Spring Tool Suite. Now it's just Spring Tool Suite. You can find some older versions, but it's just a really nice environment to do Spring development of any sort, including Spring Boot. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start from the scratch. So we're going to do a project, and we're going to find in here, we will see that there is Spring Boot. Now we can either do getting started content or a Spring starter project. I think we will probably go with, we're going to start with the starter project. And let's see, here's our service. Our name is going to be, because I'm going to actually use this as an app, we're going to call it, let's call it Project Manager. Actually, I'm going to go with, I'm going to call it Project Manager. And we've got a lot of different things we can use here. You can use Gradle, Kotlin, or Maven. I'm going to use Maven because that's just what I like. Java version 8.11, 17, 21. We're going to leave it at 17. Packaging, I like to do the jar files. And language is going to be Java. You can use others as you've seen. So my group is going to be rb-sns because that's just who I always use. Artifact, snapshot. This is going to, I'll do that. Actually, we'll do this. Spring Boot, web application. We can always change this later. Package is going to be rb-sns.demo. We'll start with that because we'll probably add later. I'm not going to add it to working sets. If you know anything about Eclipse, you can do that. This is really just getting started. Let's see. So Spring Boot version, I can use any one of these, but I'm going to use the latest production, which is 3.1.5. And there's a whole bunch of stuff here. I think what I'm going to do is just start with what we've got. We're not going to go too deep. Well, let's see. Do we want anything on the web? Actually, we're going to leave it for now. Wait, no, we do want... we'll leave it for now. We'll come back and pick those up later if we need stuff. So now we should have up here, we've got our little app. It generated a help MD. It generated a CMD, an XML POM file, which is going to be for your Maven side of it. And then we've got some basic code here. The application itself, let's look at that before we run it. And it is super simple right now. So if I take this guy and do a run as a Spring Boot app, let's see what we get here. We're going to get some stuff gets launched, and no active project goes to default. Boom, it's running, and really there's not much to be run with it right now. So that gives us our most basic application. Now if we go in and do here, let's just see if we look at, is it tell us where it's running? I don't think it's even running. So let's see. Let's go to localhost. just cause. If we go to localhost 8080, and whoops, it helps if I type it right. And it's not running because we don't have anything that, we don't have actually anything really listening right now. So let's stop that. Whoops, we'll just stop it. Oh. Oh. I don't have a good stop here. So, oh, it's terminated. So it ran through and basically nothing happened because it didn't launch anything out. So what we're going to do here is let's go ahead and make this something useful. So we're going to do a new file. And this is going to be just a Java, and we're going, whoops, yep, right there in demo. And we're going to call it, we're just going to call it the hello controller. .java. And so in here, let's see, we need our package, which is going to be this guy. And so there's our package. Let's do an import org.spring. Well, actually, I think we can just do it easier this way. Let's see if we can pick them up. So this is going to be a REST controller. Oh, it helps to actually spell stuff right. Public class. Whoops. Hello controller. Let's see if it'll actually import for me. Oh, is that it? Whoop. Come here. Nope, it's not going to pick that up as easily. So I was hoping it was going to pick that up. First, let me finish this class out. Apologies. So if I do import org .spring framework .web.bind annotation, if I spell annotation right, REST controller. There we go. So now let's see, we'll check him out in a minute. So I've got a public class, and then what I need to do is I'm going to do get mapping, and this is just going to be our default, and it's going to return a string. Let's just call this home. And we're just going to do congratulations, your server is running. And we're probably going to need that get mapping, which we can do the same thing. Whoop. Except for here, this is going to be get mapping. So I can give us those two. And then we're going to go out here. And now we need to actually do something with this. And so we're going to need a bean. Whoop. Oh, it got stuck in there. We want context. And you can get this stuff from the downloads if you want to get things going a little faster, but we're going through it the more painful way, just to sort of highlight it. So we're going to take a bean, and we're going to say at bean. And it's going to be a command line runner. We'll call it that. Runner. Whoop. Public. Oh, it's not a capital P. Command line runner. Lowercase command line runner. And we're going to send an application context. Application context. CTX. Call it that. And we got our code. That means we need a command line runner here. And, oh, we're going to need an application context. I wonder if it'll do it. Let's see. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So that's my command line context. And then this is going to be, let's do this. Let's say print line. Whoop. Location, command line runner starting up. We'll just say that. Bnames equals x dot get bean. Whoops. Definition names. We'll just sort them by name. Whoop. Yeah, that's right. Bean names. Let's see, there we go. And let's do for string name, bean names. Whoop. We need that, and then we need that, and then we're going to do name. We're just going to print the name. That. Get them all. There. Oh, that one needs a semicolon. There we go. Let's see what this does. So now if we run it. Oh, we got an error. Boom. But now we get, here we go, command line runner. Now he's running through. Now if we take our hello controller. So one of the things we got to do now is we're going to turn this into a web. So we're going to come in here, we're going to Spring, we're going to add some starters, and we're going to add the web. Whoop. So we're going to do Spring Web. And that probably, let's do web services too, just in case. Differences located. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see what we do here. Do a Maven update. Sorry, forgot to talk on that. So do a Maven update. And now, let's see what happens if we do a run as Spring Boot app. So we get all of our nice little stuff. And It's listening on 8080 now. So now if we go to, whoop, I don't want to go to localhost.com. If we go to localhost 8080, boom, congratulations, your server is running. So we have got a very, very simple Spring Boot application going. We have got through the through the command line runner, we have got some stuff running on the command line to show what beans are available. If you noticed, once we added the web piece, it added quite a bit more. And they've got a basic controller. So now if we go to our / we can do something. If we want to do something, let's do real quick, just to show you a quick way to do this. If I want to go to / goodbye, then I'm going to call this goodbye. And this is going to say, fine, be that way. Talk to you later. And if I do that, and now it's going to restart. I believe it restarts right there. And so if I come up, it's up. If I do goodbye, then I get a different string. So we've got very, very basic Spring Boot. You could actually use it if you wanted to. You could technically use this as, you could hit it as an API. You could go, send something to it as long as it's gets. But this is just to get us started. We will come back and talk about more next time around. You will see a few links in the show notes. Basically, it's just going to be the stuff to Spring. You can also you can search on it and get it fairly quickly, and that will do it. So if you have any questions, send us an email at info@developreneur.com, and we'll come back next episode, and we're just going to keep chugging along with this a little bit. So have yourself a great day, a great week, and we will talk to you next time. Hello, this is Rob from Developreneur, Building Better Developers, and we have a mastermind class that will be starting, or actually several mastermind classes starting in 2024. Check us out at technologymastermind2024.com. We've got all the information you need, including some pricing, early bird discounts up to 50% off, but those are things that you're going to have to act soon. There is an application process, so go ahead and sign up today. Thanks a lot.